There's a pretty awesome undercard on tomorrow as well. Some, not too many huge names. Being in Canada, there's a few Canadian prospects on the card. We also have an Englishman, a Russian, a Neil Magny. But we'll start at the top. The women's bantamweight title. Raquel Pennington takes on Maya Bruno Silva. Big fight in the bantamweight division. We're moving on finally from Amanda Nunes' reign after she retired. It's going to be a weird time in this division for a while until we can establish someone, as a top.
Well, yeah, person. I think there's Pena, who's still somewhat mixing it up. I mean, her first fight against Nunes, to me, it seemed like Nunes may have underestimated her slightly, and gone in there with a little bit too much confidence, and looking past her a little bit, possibly
spending too much time with the family, and not.
And I think that was a big reason why she ended up retiring, was because it was obvious that she had other things that were her motivations now.
Fair play to her.
Yeah, exactly. And she came back and she won the fight back, and it amazing.
She melted her.
Yeah, she did. She melted her. And that for me, that I think is why the landscape of this women's division is going to take a while to iron itself out, because there was just such a dominant champion at the top for so long. And yeah, I mean, this fight here, I think, is perfect. We've got Raquel Pennington, who, like she said in the press conference, has fought, did she say every former champion of this division?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. She's fought the creme of the creme,
Yeah,
creme de la creme.
She's someone who's been in there mixing it up with the best for as long as I've been watching MMA.
Yeah, she's been at it for a very long time.
And then we've got Bruno Silva, who's coming in, maybe is on the complete opposite side of that, right? She hasn't really fought the big names, but she's shown in her fights that she's a very exciting fighter, and that when she steps into the cage, she normally puts people's lights out or gets it done.
A submission. Because she submitted Holly Holm recently, which got overturned with a ninja choke. Got overturned because she did pop.
What does that mean?
She popped for steroids. She tested positive. Which is an interesting factor going into this. I mean, I like my fighters on
suspended?
Steroids. Yeah, I think she maybe 6 months. She got a suspension for it. I don't know the details. I know she popped and it got overturned.
It was probably dodgy dick pills.
Could be, yeah. Especially with her. Got a big one. Got a horn.
She's got a horn.
if she's been taking roids, then I'll take her. I mean, she's the one that's juiced up.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. Put a beating on this bitch. But in all seriousness, she's younger. She has nowhere near the same amount of fights, but she's getting up there. She's experienced. She fought Holly Holm. She obviously ninja choked her, which was fucking impressive. She did pop after that fight, but she's on I think a 3-fight win streak. She's been looking dangerous. Holly Holm was kind of able to control her up against the fence until she did get submitted. Which is interesting. That could be a bit of a, Raquel Pennington is definitely at a better stage in her career than Holly Holm was at that point. So if Holly can do that to you, a natural boxer. I know Pennington is more of a boxer, but we could see that, clinch work against the cage. We could see that falling in Raquel's favor. But I think we're going to see a Silva submission. She's a jiu-jitsu. She's got very good jiu-jitsu. She is a jiu-jitsu. She's a Jew. Jitsu. I just think that's gonna, Raquel's getting on. She's had a lot of wars, a lot of big fights. She's taken a lot of damage. She's been submitted before. I just see it. I see the prospect really putting on a show in this one.
Is Pennington? Is she Canadian?
No, I don't think so. I think she's American. And then let's look at the age. So, she's. Bruno Silva is 3 years her younger. She's got slightly less reach, slightly less height. She's from Colorado.
Okay.
10-2.
I was just trying to figure out why this. I think. Why was this fight in Toronto in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Possibly that if Volk hadn't have been head kicked into the Shadow Realm, maybe that was
Yeah, that could have been
him versus Taporia was maybe going to be targeted here. But
submissions.
probably just a bit too soon for him to turn around.
But what are you thinking? What's your pred?
Look, yeah, I'm gonna go with
Rocky.
No, I'm gonna back Silver in this one as well.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I think if Raquel can, it's a hard fight, isn't it? It's just this is people on very opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of like you say, experience and
skill wise,
and then just hunger, you know.
Yeah.
And we've seen both of those work for different fighters in the past, and sometimes even have been downfalls in some cases.
Yeah.
Going in there a little bit too hungry and getting a bit too emotional.
And as well, Bruno Silva might be overlooking Pennington a little bit here. She seems quite dismissive of the skills, which is, that's never a good sign.
No, but so does Pennington. Who have you fought was her main thing in the press conference.
Who have you fought? That was so cringy.
And it's like, who? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, who?
But like, who have you fought that's a big name that you've beaten?
Yeah.
Like that's you've gone and fought all the previous champions. Okay, but did you win?
No.
So like, there you go.
Yeah, it's a strange time for the women's band.
Yeah, it's like, who have you lost against?
Yeah. Who have you lost against? You haven't lost against Amanda Nunes.
No.
I did. Bitch.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah,
Let's get into a more intriguing fight. Neil Magny versus Mike Mallow. Mike Mallow, obviously very dangerous with his hands, very powerful. Canadian. So it's, he's fighting in his hometown. Magny, obviously coming off a pretty horrible loss to Ian Gary. That was a pretty rough one. He's also going through some personal troubles at the moment. And, that's never really a good sign.
No.
Never usually good. He might be busy with that kind of stuff, so he might not be training as much. He might be running out of cash, so he kind of needs the money, so maybe he's taking the fight for the wrong reasons. I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, we could sit here and say that kind of stuff all day, but at the end of the day, they are fighting. Like you say, Neil Magny coming off a pretty horrendous loss. Mike Mallow, can we bring up his record?
Yeah, he's got some mad power in his hands, some great submission skills. Young guy, he's 32 compared to Magny's 36 years. Hometown, super confident. I've picked Magny by fucking decision for some reason. Yeah, super impressive win against Mickey Gall. Remember that one, TKO'd him. He hasn't really fought the top of the top.
No, so this is a bit of a step up for him.
This is definitely a big
skill-wise
step up.
He hasn't fought since June last year.
No, yeah, last fight in June. He's been pretty active before that.
Yep.
So, well, not really. He's really not been active at all. Fucking hell. Where's he getting his money from? Young gun. Well, not really young. He's 32. He's in the prime of his career.
10-1.
10-1. Lots of submissions on his record. A few knockouts. Just the one loss.
Neil Magny's pretty handy on the ground, though.
He is very handy on the ground.
So
he's willing to give handies on the ground. I've picked Neil Magny for the upset. I think he's going to be got a fire under his belly after that last fight. He's got obviously the personal issues, which might be driving him in the gym. On the flip side, it could be pushing him further in the gym. He might be really focusing on this to, negate those issues, the personal issues. So we could see a fired up Neil Magny go in here and get it done. That's why I picked him. That is why I've picked him. That's the only reason I've picked him. It's probably a stupid thing to do, but I just have this weird feeling we're going to see at least one upset on this card, and I'm going with Neil.
Yep, I like Mike Mallow for this. He is riding the momentum at the moment. But I mean, yeah, like you say, Neil Magny, isn't he got the most fights in the welterweight division?
Yeah. He does.
So a massive step up for Mike to go in there, and yeah, like you say, he hasn't fought the best of the best. But this guy has been around like so many times, like for so long. Sorry, fighting. And another thing that Neil said in the press conference is he's fought everyone in their backyard. He's fought Brazilians in Brazil. You know, like, and that's never an easy feat.
No. Just ask Yuri Prochazka.
Yeah. So, look, yeah, I like Mike Malone for this though.
No, fair play.
I think first or second round submission.
Yeah, no, you definitely could be right. I think he's a lot physically stronger than Neil. But you know, he's a crafty veteran. He's only 36, so it's not like he's pushing 40. He's still got a few good years in him. He didn't look terrible against Gary. Gary just had the perfect game plan. But I do think that Malo will target that leg, just as Gary did. And if he can get a good few leg kicks off, that could be all she wrote for.
Yeah.
He just then take him down.
That's right. He didn't adapt to that, did he? Like there was no correction made at all to kind of check that leg kick. He just kept taking it.
He did.
So yeah,
we'll see.
Like you say, if Mike can get off a couple of those, and there's no adjustment made, keep at it.
Yeah, and then he could look, you know, leg kick, high kick, leg kick, body kick,
Boom.
punches, takedown.
Done.
Yeah, there might be a game plan set out of how you need to fight Neil Magny now.
And I think he's because he has all of that time and like all of that octagon time in the welterweight division against so many different fighters. You know, he's gone up against strikers, he's gone up against wrestlers, you know, people that pull guard, you know, like there's just everyone. He has fought everyone.
He has.
So
a lot of damage.
You can really pick apart someone like that.
You can review tape, a lot of tape. But, you know, I'm going to stick with the boy. I want him to win. I really want Neil to get this win for him. Love the guy. Veterans, always cool to see an underdog win. But yeah.
Another veteran.
Chrissy C.
Chris Curtis.
Cheers.
Been doing this for 15 years.
He has. And he is fighting Marc-Andre Barriault.
That was yeah, we'll go with that.
Marc-Andre Barriault. Yeah.
Marc-Andre Barriault.
Yeah.
Barriault?
He is also
it's
Canadian.
French, isn't it?
It must be French Canadian.
Canadian.
Interesting fight here. I love Chris Curtis. He loves to stand and bang, try and get the knockout. Barriault, we'll have a look at his record. I don't think he's been all that active recently.
His nice ears.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's riding on two wins. TKO of Julian Marquez, good one in 2023. Eric Anders decision, that's always a good win. He did lose to Anthony Hernandez, which is interesting. Jordan Wright, he also beat by submission. Looks like he's, you know, he gets a few KOs here and there. He's had a few submissions recently.
Champion in another organization by the looks of it.
Yeah. Champion in whatever that is.
Nice.
Show you the belt.
Well done, Power Bar. Look, I'd got to say...
Power Bar. Kind of looks like Tom Aspinall from the head down.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I think this has been set up for Chris to win.
Yeah,
potentially. So like, and it would make sense too. I mean, he's Sean Strickland's most notable training partner. I mean, coming out of that gym, and they're buddies. They have a podcast together. So and we do know that people that start podcasts together are
good friends.
Good friends.
Buddies.
We haven't done that in a while.
We haven't. Bring back the handshake.
If you're not watching the video, you won't understand. But yeah, look, I think it's going to be one of his last kind of chances to propel himself forward. He has unfortunately slipped up every time they've given him an opportunity to
really
advance into the middleweight division. But yeah, I'd like to see one last surge.
Same. I don't think he's never going to be a title contender, and I don't think he really cares about that also all that much. He's happy to just keep going as he is.
He's still floating around in the top 15.
He is, yeah. He's 36. He's looked good recently. He's got heavy hands. I'm predicting a knockout, and I'm saying round 2.
Yeah, I like it.
For Chris, that is.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think a Chris Curtis knockout, and even earlier than that, mate. I'm going to say round
Round
one.
one.
Yeah,
Nice.
screw it.
Yeah.
There's got to be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so too.
I don't see many of the other fights being a first round knockout.
No, I don't really see too many knockouts on this card, if I'm completely honest.
But saying that, we've got this very exciting featherweight fight happening just before that, with a couple of very dangerous guys.
My man Arnold Allen, fucking go.
Look, his only. Who else has he lost to apart from Max Holloway?
I think he lost quite a while ago. Hold it, Allen.
He's still quite a young guy, 29.
Yeah, young lad. Great fighter.
I like this kid.
He didn't lose. Yeah, this kid is great. So he lost in Cage Warriors a very long time ago by decision, and he also got decision by Max Holloway. But you know, the strength of record really shows here. He's got a very, very good resume for someone who's been fighting in the UFC. He obviously his last win was against Calvin Kattar. That annihilation of Dan Hooker.
Oh, I hated that fight.
Yeah, he got clipped in that fight, but just went straight back to it and
just was charging the whole time.
Yeah, man. He had fire under his belly. Yeah, and he's got power in his hands. You know,
it's like Dan Hooker had said something to him. You know, or
Dan Hooker had taken his lunch money.
Yeah, but man, that was definitely a show that featherweight was not for Dan.
Absolutely. But you know, even before then, Sadiq Yusuff, that's always a good win by decision. Nick Lentz, good win. Gilbert Melendez on the end of his career won by unanimous decision. You know, he's been in the UFC for a very, very long time. Look at his win streak. 2015 until 2022, he was unbeaten. Obviously, Max Holloway is a completely different animal. But you know, he had moments in that fight. He took 2 rounds from Holloway. Holloway did kind of ease to the decision though. But it's Max Holloway. You know, that's right. The top of the top. The creme de la creme.
Cream of the crop.
But, you know, he's not going to have an easy time with Movsar Evliov.
17-0.
17-0, never beaten. But, you know, there's holes in his game that have been shown before. The last fight against Diego Lopez was very close, which by all accounts it shouldn't have been. But obviously we know Lopez is very good after his more recent performances. But yeah, he's open on the feet. He's pretty open on the feet. And I think someone like Arnold Allen can find some real good openings here and land, you know?
I personally haven't seen him fight.
Did you see the Diego Lopez one?
I don't think so, no. I didn't see that Sterling versus Cejudo card at all, I don't think. I still haven't watched that fight.
You're not missing too much.
No.
Well, it was a pretty good fight.
Yeah. Well,
interesting fight.
Either way, I'm just gonna, I know I just outed myself to say I haven't seen this guy fight, but I still like Arnold Allen for this. Yeah. Just because he had that, like we say, he's got a much more impressive resume. It's a lot deeper in terms of the names that he's fought, and the wins that he's got.
Got that 5-round experience, which is always good.
Yeah, he's got that 5-round experience, and he did look quite good in over 5 rounds.
Yeah, he definitely stayed in that fight with Holloway. It wasn't like he didn't have any moments. It just he got outclassed by the veteran who had been doing it longer and had the experience. Max Holloway, who's more experienced than that guy, right?
I think there's so much that he would have taken away from that fight as well.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
In terms of what tools he needs to work on so that he can get to that next level. Because unfortunately in the featherweight division there's only a couple of guys at the top that have been there for, like, you know, your Volk and your Holloways. Of course, we've now got Topuria fighting for the championship. Has he fought Holloway? No. Because anyone that they try to put through Holloway, this happens.
Yeah, exactly. So, like this, he was being touted as the next title challenger, and you know, he fought Max, and what usually happened. Yeah. So I'm taking him for this fight. I'm going to say it's going to be a decision. I think he's going to win 2 rounds to 1. That'll be 28-29, 29-28 to Arnold Allen. I'm predicting.
Yeah, I like that. I like a decision win for Allen.
Yeah.
And I think that really puts him straight back in the mix.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He deserves a top 5 guy after this.
I think even fight the loser of
Topuria Volk.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to see Allen versus Topuria. That would be a banger.
That would be a great matchup.
Banger. Allen's just a G as well. Just a real cool guy.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
I really liked what he had to say. In the press conference, they're like, no one has been taking this fight. He wants to fight the best of the best and prove that he is right up there. And I think that goes back to what I was just saying. Like, this guy has a point to prove. That he can match those guys. He just might have needed to be in there against one of them to figure out where he stands.
Sometimes losing can be the best thing that a fighter ever goes through.
Sean Strickland.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. A bit of a door slam in the background there, guys. Apologize for that.
That's our picks. Let's skim over the prelims and see what we've got here. We've got Brad Katona. He obviously won the Ultimate Fighter, the Conor Chandler one. Irish guy, had some real good fights. He's got a pretty good record.
It's hot in here, isn't it?
I'm taking, it is very hot in here. It's a very hot day. But yeah, I'm taking Brad Katona. He's looked very impressive. He obviously lost to Marab. Then he lost to Hunter Azure. Both decisions, close decisions. He looked good against Marab. And, you know, he's on a bit of a tear now. He won the Ultimate Fighter. So he's going to have a lot of confidence going into this. I'm taking him. I'm taking Brad Katona by decision. Jourdain Woodson, a lot of KOs, a lot of flashy KOs. Charles Jourdain, you know, he's less wild now. He's a lot more controlled. His jiu-jitsu's great. He's got great hands. I think I'm taking Charles.
You didn't ask me for my opinion on the last one. You just keep going.
I don't think you knew that.
I don't know these people.
All right.
And I'm honest about it, okay?
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'm taking Charles. Charles Jourdain, put your money on him. By decision, I'm taking City, because why not? Polyana Viana, no. Taking Juliana Robinson. I think she's just a better fighter. I think that Polyana Viana's a little bit of a TikTok fighter.
Bit of a TikTok fighter. Okay.
Early prelims. Got some interesting ones on here.
Jimmy Flick.
He's not fighting anyone.
That's fair enough.
So we've got Yasmin Judas Lucas fighting no one. Malcolm Gordon.
No one
Jimmy
has a
Flick.
12-5 record though.
Yeah, no one is pretty decent, you know, and they're in the UFC. So, yeah, interesting. We've got Malcolm Gordon, Jimmy Flick, picking Malcolm Gordon. Johan Leonesi, Sam Patterson, picking Sam. And Yasmin, I'm picking her because she's not fighting anyone. So, that's our little rundown of the prelims and the early
Pretty
prelims.
short. There's only 3 fights on the early prelims.
But then there is 4. Oh, well, yeah. It's not the biggest card in the world.
No.
Main event. The main card's pretty big, pretty stacked up. 5 fights. I mean, it's not the best card ever, but there's some good fights on here.
Yeah. Look, I know I don't know these people in the prelims and early prelims, but for the people at home, I just want to say I often enjoy those parts of the cards more than the main card. Like maybe not in terms of hype, maybe not in terms of
just fights in general.
Just the fights. These people have nothing on the line sometimes. Well, they have a lot on the line, but they go out there and they're really shooting for the hills, you know, that
they want to put on a good performance. You know, it's not just about winning for them. It's about showing.
It's about breaking through.
Yeah, it's about like, right, I'm gonna win, and I want you to give me a good guy next. I want to break into the top 15. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this short episode of Combat Corner.
If you like what you see, we've got lots of long form content below and lots of other videos like this, so feel free to go along and check it out. We really appreciate all your support. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, share it around. Have a good day.
Peace.